Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And I know old St. Nick is everywhere. He's here. He's been at the studio. We got some new equipment. Oh boy, I'm telling you, things are really happening. Old St. Nick and old Santa Claus. But I want to start the show off with this lovely card from staff members. My Christmas wish for you. This is for you. To be enlightened by laughters, lifted by friendship, warmed by love, strengthened by faith, blessed by grace, and amazed by light. Now, this is an outstanding card that the staff member say that the Ed Brown Show deserves with all the years that they've put in and everything. I think the staff, they deserve a big hand from the Ed Brown Show producer. And what we want to do, we want to talk about fashions. We want to talk about voting. We want to talk about the school board. Yeah, the school board. What are they going to do? And then, most of all, about voting. Congratulations to the people in Alabama for coming out to the polls. And that's what we have to do if we want to continue the progress that we've made and continue the progress that we need along the lines of education for our children. And you know what? We have Mrs. Richmond, yeah. And Mrs. Richmond's been with us sometimes. She has a radio show. And we're going to talk about what's coming up. I know a lot of you go into Florida, California, and places like that. But fall fashions, what are fall fashions? You know, Mrs. Richmond told us that fall, they're past, they're into spring fashion. That's right, we want spring. Hey, Kamaria, tell us a little bit about what's going on as far as the fashion world is concerned. Most of us, you know, when we say fashion, we think of females, you know, but the males are being educated now. You all are doing a good job with it. In fact, it had to the fact that I was waiting to go to one of the fabulous stores here in Prince George County, and I decided, hey, I think I can go by myself. I don't need female with it, and that's what I did. And hey, somebody said I did a good job. I don't know. I gotta check it out. Now, tell us a little bit about the spring fashion. Everybody's talking about snow and all of that kind of. But we tell us how you determine when to make the move as far as shopping for fall, spring, and summer.
It's almost, well, thank you, Mr. Brown, for having me on. And when we talk about fashion, we'll start with you and your new coat.
Hey, I was lucky.
Yes, you did a good job on your new coat. Yes, nice, looks really nice. And so we were talking about fashion, and so I'm going to, of course, use my phone to talk about just fashion in 2018. But you were asking the question, let's see, when I was doing retail, I was a buyer, and I had fall, winter merchandise coming in July. And so July and August, that's what you see. You see fall, and by the time, a couple minutes later, then you're ready for spring and summer. So the industry is kind of on the opposite. So you're thinking, okay, why am I buying, you know, fall
snow shovels
in July?
In July.
Well, because you want to be prepared.
Not only that, there's excuse me, there's a price differential there involved. Right. If you buy early fall or late summer, you know, some people feel that, hey, look, I'll need this for next summer, so I'll buy this early fall.
And you'll see like a lot of summer, spring wear going on sale
Right.
as the season gets later. So it's good. But you and I were talking about, well, actually, I should say you, because you wanted to talk about fashion today. And so I was looking at some 2018 fashion. And so for women, and there's some fabulous things for women. And of course, I can tell you more about us than I can about you. But I mean, for anyone that's looking for the trends for 2018, every major department store is showing what's going to be fabulous, what's going to be hot, what's going to be nice and trendy. And so for women, our number one spot is for lavenders, lavender dreams. So we're going to look at lavender dresses, suits, lots of vibrant lavender, and also very soft lavender. And I'm just going to talk about the top 10 for women. We have art infused. And when you think about the art infused, just think about going into a gallery and you see all that color. That's what we're going to see. That's like our number 2 list. The third hot thing is going to be mad for plaid. So all of plaid is coming back in. So it may be pants, it may be a jacket, it may be a top. And plaid is cool, so I'm looking forward to that. Our number 4 is the new trench. So the trench coat is a must-have. It's a staple. But this season, you're going to see them longer. You're going to see them shorter. Really, really exciting. And we're also going back to the fringe.
All these fashions, I noticed that most of them have hoods on it. Hoods in or hoods out.
Well, I don't want to talk about, designers, but we're going to find like the little fringe, and everything comes back. Every year there's something that comes back. And the fanny pack, both men and women use the fanny pack.
The fanny pack.
The fanny pack.
I need an explanation on that. tell me the fanny pack. Elaborate a little bit on that.
Our pack, you can do it across body or just around the midsection. So you just put in all the stuff that you need in your little fanny pack. And so it's nice and it's easy and it's trendy. It's trendy looking. We're gonna have to get you into the fanny pack. Get you a fanny pack. And I noticed for both men and women, we're gonna see a lot of the 60s florals. And I love like looking at the movies from the 60s and all that vibrant floral print. So that'll be back, which is exciting. Workout. Now you've probably noticed all year long there's always some kind of new workout clothing. And so because it's fashionable, not only do you need it for working out, but it's also very fashionable. Mm-hmm. So when you see, some people going to the gym, they look really nice. And of course people are wearing it out. And then now you have to be truly open to wear plastics. And that's just
when you say plastics,
interesting. So let's say that you may have like a jacket, but that's almost kind of like rain weather almost. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so you can totally see through.
An old raincoat is out. You
you have to go plastic. And dark denim, which I happen to like the dark denim, so I'm glad that's back. And that's about women. So we'll just do just a few on men, which I tell you, that's really your
men,
expertise.
I always thought the men, it was an easier job because they're not as picky.
Well, but no, you have a lot of trendy guys, and so you're going to see, like for your jackets, a lot of faux fur and still a lot of leather. You're going to see the jacket, not just menswear, but business wear. Mm-hmm. They're going to be necklaces that have, they're going to be different, almost a little different. And let's see, looking here at my notes, so we have to ask the folks to bear with us. Oh, a lot of red.
Yes, but what happens?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of males stay away from trendy women stores because they feel there's nothing there for me. But that's not true, because I had the same idea and going. I said, well,
you went shopping.
Yeah, I went shopping in a woman's known facility.
Right.
And I felt going in, I felt, sort of weak. I said, now what am I doing here? Because there's no advertising there about menswear.
But you know what? For a lot of young, businessmen are always going to be looking for the perfect business suit, but a lot of young men are really trendy, really fashionable, and so they hit the runways just like us girls.
I was surprised at the number of male shoppers that were in this trendy type of woman store, and they had outstanding bargains there. For men. So hey guys, you can go to some of these stores, these known trendy women's stores, and they got some outstanding buys there for the men. And of all ages,
Absolutely.
80, so
Absolutely.
They covering. So I hadn't been in a trendy women's store in years, because I felt there ain't nothing there for me.
Oh, always.
50s, what you doing here, But that's not true. And if you really want to get involved in changes in style and price wise, that's one of the places to go. And I was elated at my purchase.
Yes, you have a really nice one.
I told
all
my
by
friends
yourself.
I told my friends I got lucky. But anyway, with the spring coming up and Christmas here, what do you think the trends for 2018? You think there'll be a big change, or will we be just going along with whatever the designers decide is will make money?
Well, what's good for someone that's into fashion is to, if you can, go to some of the fashion shows or even YouTube. You can see what's hot, what's hot for each season, what's hot for the year. And the thing is you may see something on the runway, but when it gets to the department store, the price is going to be so much lower.
So much lower,
yeah,
right?
So let's say plastics. Like plastics.
I was really surprised too that the prices were lower. Well, anyway, hey, we've been going through 2018 on trends and fashions and everything. So we want to come back and talk about something real serious as voting, and we're going to also talk about the school board. What's happening to your dollars? Be back in a second.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. I know Santa Claus is really busy. I mean, there's so many things he has to do. But what you want to do is make sure you continue to listen and see the award-winning Ed Brown Show, because the subject matter we're dealing with is very important for now and the future. I'm talking about the election. I'm talking about the school board, which is the future of our children. The school board had a terrific meeting, and I think that the governor did a good job in bringing forth the fact that the school board needs to be ordered more frequently, because something is happening. It used to be, well, we don't have the money, but now it's totally different. They have the money. They have the money for MGM. They have the money from the council, and the governor gave them 3 years worth of funding, totaling about $28 million. So Prince George's County, you got to step up. If the leaders are not doing their job, and that was very evident in the hearing that they had last night. That was Tuesday night. And so what you want to do, I'm proud of the individuals that took the time to testify of the problems that the school board has. And one of the problems is that they have to have an elected school board. We can't have
appointees on the school board dealing with the future of our children. Hey, tell us something, Kamaria, about the career development as far as the young people. You know, most of us, we put strength on the degree, and I think a degree is, in some cases, is necessary, and we should have it. But you know, when I was going to school, they had shops and things like that,
Right.
dealing with youngsters that weren't physically or mentally or financially able to go to college. Now, what do you think in your industry now? And I'm happy to say that is that they have gone, I mean, over backwards to make sure that the industry employs minorities. Tell us a little bit about an individual that wants to be into the industry of the corporations, and they're the ones that are making the money.
Right, right. Well, Mr. Brown, you touched on something that's really important. In this day and age where we live in, where it's like a global economy, not everybody is going to college. And so we used to have those trade schools which need to come back. And they have started to come back, but our young people need to focus on, if you're not going to college, what's a trade? And if you have, whether you're in college or a trade school, you're always an entrepreneur. You can always start your own business. And so it's the world that we're living in today is much, much different on how you can get a job or make more money. You can become an entrepreneur. Yeah. And you can do that. And actually, you had a guest on not too long ago for those that have been in prison, coming out, learning a trade, or even learning the trade in prison, and then able to get a job without, they know something. They finally, know something, and they can put that energy to good use.
Right, because I think that all of that go hand in hand with participating into the society.
Yes.
Because voting is part of our society, and people have to realize voting is just as important as a job. Because if you don't have a job, then you don't vote, then you're actually not participating in the development of your community, of your children, of your grandchildren. So it behooves the individual to get involved in the trades. Mm-hmm. You don't have to get a PhD. You don't have to get a college degree. What you can do, just like Kamaria was saying, the trades are wide open. And what the young people have to realize is that that's the key to our society.
Absolutely.
It is the trades, because the trades represent the corporations. The corporations represent the money, and
Exactly.
that's the thing. You talk about $15 an hour, $10 an hour. That's chicken feed compared to your involvement in that particular industry. And the ideas that people have, that's what makes millions. You come up with the idea, it makes millions.
Absolutely.
And so many individuals have that capability. They may not have the academic capability to be successful, but most of us are talented in something. I don't care what it is.
Right, and that's the thing, at something. And you want a sense of, especially if you're a young person, once you graduate college, you may or may not get a job right away.
Right.
And so you really have to focus on that plan B. As
Right.
we used to say, so you have plan A and you have plan B. And for myself, I went to college, but after I graduated, I went into a totally different field. And so that can happen as well. But it's in this global economy, you really have to take the time to decide what's going to be best for you.
And then the other thing is participation into your community, whether it's the dog
Absolutely.
catcher or whether it's the mayor, the councilman, or whatever. Participate, because what you're doing and where you are now is because someone took the time to preserve the future. People took the time. They didn't think in terms of individual sitting on the bus in the wrong seat would trigger that type of response. But
The young lady was determined that she had the right, and she was determined whatever happened, that she was not going to relent.
Right.
And she didn't. And it paid off. Many a persons out there, doesn't make any difference what color, has gone through discrimination of some kind. You've had it in your own family, with cousins and uncles and people like that associated in your churches, that it's a problem. And you have to deal with it. And dealing with it is making yourself part of the system.
Right.
They have to realize they can't sit at home and watch television or watch the football game when there's a meeting of the county council or a hearing of the Park and Planning Commission, because whatever is happening there eventually will affect you. If it doesn't affect you, it'll affect your children. And if it doesn't affect your children, it'll affect your grandchildren. That's why the progress that has been made, because of sacrifice.
Absolutely.
And the idea is that what you have done with the situations that you've been in, as far as job opportunities and taking advantage of job opportunities, and when you got an opportunity to pass this on to other people having the same problem, you did it. Instead of saying, oh, well, I've been through that, I don't want to be bothered to say I did my share, But the attitude you have in your radio show, having individuals how to approach problems. Everybody has problems, no matter no matter who you are. Sooner or later, if you live long enough, you're going to have plenty of problems. You're going to have more problems than you ever thought you'd have.
And it's just the way you handle it. And that's just a cliche. It's not just the problem itself, but how you actually handle it.
You're right.
And the other thing is you were saying is that you have to think about generations to come.
Right.
And so we won't probably talk about it today, but the new tax plan. You have to think about generations to come. And
Well,
so I know that's a whole different conversation.
Only way that you know about how detrimental the tax plan is going to be for the average person, that you've done some homework. And that's what you have to do. I mean, people tell you the tax plan is good or this problem is good. Well, what you want to do is actually go and do some homework yourself about it so that you have the facts.
Right.
Because it's people out there tell you anything for a quarter. You know, and if you and this is what you have to realize, that and in preparing for that, in your situation there, you could have actually gone the other way, say, well, I've had enough of this, I don't want to be bothered with this, but you put your time and you put your effort in to help someone else over that hump. And that's what we have to think in terms of helping each other.
Absolutely.
And you help each other, and like I said earlier, I'm proud of the people of Alabama of all races, realizing that this election was important and was detrimental to their future too.
Absolutely.
Because it will affect their grandchildren, great-grandchildren, sooner or later. And see, that's what people never put themselves in a position like that. It will never happen to me. I got $40 million, but it'll happen to anyone, anytime.
Right.
And money will not solve the problem.
And that's true for a lot. I mean, of course we want to focus on finances because it's like right in our face, we have to do it. But we have to look at it on both sides. You know, they like to say, oh, money isn't everything. In the global economy, it sure does help.
Yes.
But you have to also make plans to do something different, because we don't know in 10 years how things, how things are going to roll out. So.
Because things change, and in order for change is what people fail to realize, sacrifices are necessary for positive changes.
Absolutely.
Because no one is going to give you anything that they want. So those are things that you have to look at. But it's great to have you on the show here with Ed Brown, and you and your mother Joan and the technicians. They've done wonderful jobs. They're always doing research to make the programming better than what it has. Right now we're going through our research with the sounding, and those are things that maybe people don't understand, but they're important as far as producing a show. And like I said, I want to thank you and your family for sacrificing, coming on the show, letting the individuals know that they can contribute to the progress as far as education is concerned, as far as participation is concerned. So, and you tell old Mike down in Mexico, we envy him. He's one of the outstanding retired Foreign Service officers that we've had on the show. And like I said, I wanted to take this time, the first of the year, to thank all the people that have made the Ed Brown Show #1. See you next time and next year. That's it.